Yeah, I had to deal with some extra shenanigans now that... now that I almost forgot about my PC game audio functioning. I had to invert that for Deep Rock Galactic. So that's what doubled up for some parts until here. Thankfully it wasn't too much trouble. But if that one bothered anyone, but if that actually bothered anyone, you have my apologies there. It's the only thing I'm going to be apologizing about in this thing. Well, unless I run into anything extremely grotesque. But anyway, greetings everyone, one and all. I'm Menos, welcome to my Madhouse. And now it's time for my monthly sanity check. That's very rough as always, but this one's... yeah, but this one's been even rougher. Especially due to the many disasters I found, including the disaster that I'm about to get into. And even get involved in a bit later. Extremely good chances are. You'll see why when I get there. But first things to come first. First things to come first, I want to expand my horizons once again. And this time not only being a... I have no idea... I have no idea how TikTok would fare well in that case, in the case of expansion. But should be an interesting experiment. Speaking of experiments, on the other hand, I want to do two methods involving another platform I'm about to talk about. Yes, in case you hadn't seen my schedule or anything, or my small announcement already, on the Ides of March, I will have a Twitch debut. I'm about to... I do have an account, but it was just for chatting until here. Now I'm about to get into that soon. After that, from there, I will simulcast on both YouTube and Twitch for some part. Yeah, of course, some that already. Of course, some that I've already talked to about this. Sorry. I already broke my promise. Of course, some people I've already talked to about this would say they just stick to YouTube instead. However, there's going to be growth on Twitch as well. From the way YouTube's acting, extremely good chances are there'll be more newbies that show up on Twitch rather than YouTube. So that's my thoughts anyways. So after the debut, the first week in the whole, I'll simulcast both. Then from that point forward, unless I somehow get affiliate pretty fast. The VODs on Twitch will show up, but the VODs on Twitch will show up a day later. A day later at a certain fixed time frame instead of the usual time frame. As for pure streaming, I'll stick to my original time frame. However, that's if the plans go well. And also prepare a bit of something while when the Twitch debut time comes. Remember, it happens to be the Ides of March, which has some pretty polarizing history. I love polarizing histories and creepy themes. That's why this place is in the mental asylum to begin with. That's why I'm what I look like right here. I have the clothes of one of the asylum mates. And I'm willing to show that off fully, but not right now. I'll be horrifically distracted. It'll almost be as narrow as when I almost got Hero from Azure Lane. Yes, that was a new ship. So that's everything on the Twitch shenanigans. So now, as of what am I doing in case of me I've checked out. Now, first off, and I forgot to put this on my list, but I gotta do this right now or else I'll forget. I almost never check out Western movies anymore, and that's fine by me. However, there's been one movie that ended up catching my interest Ugh. That one movie is Cocaine Bear. I've heard it's done extremely well. However, the less you know about the plot, the more you'll end up having fun with it. So I'll have to consult Francis Drake there later. So that's one of two things I'll consult Francis Drake about. But that's later. The second one I'm consulting Francis Drake about is later. As for the anime manga updates, it'll be just a short one. I've been busy with the debut preparation shenanigans and dealing with clips mostly, alongside any real life obligations. So I've only progressed a bit on the MOVIE Isekai manga and Bocchi the Rock. I've also been checking out Azure's Lane anime as promised. And it's pretty entertaining thus far. I had to hold off on Nier Automata because the staff that was being outsourced there ended up dealing with Corona, so they were on hiatus until right now. I want to check on any remaining episodes of that. So that's that section up and done with. Now on to the games I was dealing with, which is a longer list, as always. First one will involve Fate Grand Order, which I will be streaming that tomorrow. Because I seriously owe you for getting winded last Sunday. But as for the updates there, I just saved until I got a bunch of tickets from Valentine's, and right now in the Chaldea Boys event. But throughout up until here, the ticket festival was on the 11 shot. Was in the 11 shot involving Karen. Did not end up with her, but ended up with a bunch of Ventsies, thank goodness. Single pulls have been the most kind to me this year out of any other year. Normally, they're not kind to me at all. However, later on within the 10 shot 11 shot tickets for say Shonagon spanner, before I got to the 11 shot point, I ended up gaining say Shonagon. She's already pretty fun to use, even though I won't get to use her too much. I won't get to use her too much right now. Spoiler on there, most of the stream's gonna be male focused. Then spent the rest of them on Arthur and then Amakusa, with only some courts to be sacrificed. However, those were the same as Kanen's case. Now for Pokemon Violet. Yes, I unfortunately couldn't fit that into the schedule, so I'm gonna have to deal with the rest of the post game later. Then defend my championship title in the finale. However, off screen I did catch up with the raids there. Walking Wake was already hell on wheels, and that thing had no wheels. However, I did end up catching him, but Iron Leaves was a worse deal. I had to level up some Pokemon to deal with him, and I just caught I just evolved a Bisharp into King Gambit, even though it took a while. I'm gonna have to get into that event's still going on, thankfully, so I will have to deal with him. Hopefully I can deal with him on stream once I'm done with the sanity check, and that's if I have enough time. Don't get me wrong, I love when sanity check lasts a good bit. Thankfully, there are less topics than the last two sanity checks. Last two, I found a whole lot. Found a whole lot of things. But this time it would. Of course, it's the shortest month of the year, so of course this would be light. Light in topics, but still super heavy. Also caught up with the rest of the DLC shenanigans that are about to go on there. So I'll end up dealing with that anyway. Mental asylum patient being a mental asylum patient as usual. Thankfully, the base game was legit a gift. It's not from Francis Drake. Someone I knew actually gave this to me. Speaking of other things I got myself into. Now on to the Splatoon stuff. Event in the fresh season. It's amazingly fun as always. Oh, DG Scorpio, welcome. I just checked in right now with chat. Gopless looks amazing and is as promised. The returning characters and new characters are all the returning characters I got to revisit. It was great, and the new characters involved as well. The two new characters were that Jumbo Shrimp and who I presume to be Sheldon's kids. They're holding down his ult fort extremely well. I'm also amazed at Inkopolis during Big Run. Splatsville is a pretty huge metropolis, so I didn't get to explore the Anima Sky there as much as Inkopolis. Both look beautiful when that happens. Yes, I do. Yes, I do love when that happens. It's why off and on the. Perhaps I've gotten used to that with Madhouse. With the Madhouse domain being red skies off and on. And yes, Big Run was extremely hard, but extremely fun. And yes, that's what she said. Bad jokes aside, yeah, it was extremely fun. So it's getting to revisit both the Kraken and what is still my main weapon to this day, the Crack-On Splat Roller. I want to match that thing out in freshness. And I definitely will. Mark my words here. And I've done that throughout both Splatoon 1 and 2. And here's a side tangent involving the Wii U in general. I've heard I didn't include this because it happened this month. And I've already broken my own rules as it is. But I'm gonna have to fire up the Wii U in case so it won't brick, because there's apparently some internal problem with it that if you let it set for worlds too long, you'll end up bricking it, and that's it. So yeah, that's an extremely bad thing to worry about, considering that it's been out of service. The online connectivity and junk has been out of service, and repair service have been out the window for that thing. So it's been an extremely strange. So that thing's been an extremely strange creature, but so far, I assumed it's the day one consoles. I don't have a day one console, and I brought that pre-owned. Which came from Drift and other shenanigans from there as well. Most everyone had to worry about Drift for the Switch's Joy-Cons. Me, my ass had to worry about Drift at the Wii U days. And that's within part of the console itself. So yeah, that's why I have a few rough patches involving Splatoon matches. But don't get me wrong, those are extremely fun as well. I want one day to do a retro stream involving that. And that's provided I didn't screw up and have it close for too long. Still want to mod that thing anyways. That's like I did my Wii. Yes, mine is always welcome. But enough of that tangent. Now we're going to actually the reason why I was late. I've returned to Azure Lane officially returned to Azure Lane after 2 years. I'm having fun with it all over again. Yeah, I did grind up the rest of the event. Yeah, it ended up being very fun, but I had to crunch it for getting Hero. I had to crunch in that campaign right where you end up getting copies of Hero. Thankfully, I got one. One copy is normally all I strive for anyway. Man, because there's a bunch of bullings. Then there's a bunch of bullings you can get there on the daily and even weekly. I think I have about 3 regular bullings and 3 gold bullings right now. And I've heard some people even level up their bullings to the max. I know you aren't meant to have them battle. You aren't meant for that. They aren't meant for that at all. In fact, I kept hearing how they've been doing well at that case. Especially since they're the first guys to not have a faction anyway. To either not have a faction or join the Outsiders faction, which also belongs to the collabo ships. Yes, I end up with Impalpable. I still need to deal with that clip. I still need to deal with getting that clip done. Now that's enough of that. Now we're to the other game that I recently tried. It's Deep Rock Galactic. Jumped in during the 5-year anniversary. And both the current version and the old version that they were showing off, both are extremely fun. Both are extremely fun to deal with. However, here's something I never thought of until dealing with that one test. That one full aggro test, and yes, I went full aggro on this stream right now. Turns out the minimum bitrate is 60,000 something, I think, for Twitch, so I went with that. Everything's run very smoothly. Everything's been running very smoothly, thank goodness. And no, I did not. That actually aged good this time. It's run very smoothly here. I'm checking out that. On my other stream, I'm checking out the other stream right now. I used to call it the Susan stream, the Susan part, because Susan was the overlord until here. We're doing someone much worse now. There's some nasty, filthy things crook, aka some NFT crook. But enough on him now. I'm so glad I had with this again, but it took way too many tries. So way too many freaking tries. I'll have to get into Deep Rock Galactic some more in the end, but personally, I want to deal with Iron Leaves with the remaining time as I have. Thankfully, that thing will show up in the DLC, or so I presume. Once again, I'll definitely grind up Deep Rock Galactic when I have the time. Also, speaking of grinding, I grind up to 40-something levels across the board, except for Haste, in case the Loach Nobata. Haste is already maxed. I'm finally getting that done this week. And it's on Thursday. So yes, Cunning Souls will finally be done. Definitely look forward to that. And now this is going to be tied to the first... Now this is going to be tied to the first... the first of the Clown World incidents I'm going to cover. Yes, this is going to be tied to that. After some speculation, learned that Francis Drake could finally beat De Nuvo a while ago. I'm actually interested in streaming Hogwarts Academy. And I will do some test runs, don't worry. They should be up and running since this is Francis Drake we're talking and all. But I'm pretty sure it has enough gigs to agree with me. Once it does, and everything goes well, I'll definitely stream it. Any bastards come my way, I'll definitely feast on them, don't worry. There's some unfortunate few like we're about to get into later on, but yes, I love I love tearing into the trolls that wanna mess with me. This includes block. Yes, this includes the block, report, and ignore shenanigans. I thought laughing at that sort of stuff was a bad habit at first, but yeah, it definitely is. So that's the other habit of laugh at people crying, but that's actually only if they deserve it. Yeah, that's seriously only if they deserve it. Ones I'm about to get into, even though one of them did some crap, neither deserved any of that. Yeah, no one that got bullied involved in those shenanigans deserved any of it. Except for the ones that have been except for the ones that were the bullies and activists. Those definitely deserved it. So yeah, there's gonna be a feast of both tears and blood here. And that's everything that I have on my list. That's everything on my Zatsu list. Yeah. Yeah, I did do an editing video last month, so the thing I'm on right now, thankfully I still left that on. I still have my tasks to deal with. Good thing I have ample time to deal with them until the Twitch debut. So it's gonna be an intermit. So I'm gonna have an intermission. With that, I'll have an intermission right now. So everyone, please sit tight. All right, I have returned. All right, I finally returned, and we're starting off with some pretty huge guns here. I have what's on the list. What's on the list? You know what's coming first. If you tuned in just now, you know it's coming first. You don't know it's coming first until right here. But the Ohio Jinx is a bit later. But now I'm going on to this disaster at hand, and I'm just loosely going to deal with the articles that I do have about it. And yes, it's about the Hogwarts Legacy Grand Disaster. And after seeing this grand disaster unfold, well, and wait until Francis Drake dealt with the Nouveau. Aside, you know what? I'll actually try the game out. But first off, by what I just did, and by May from either playing the game or even announcing that they're gonna think about playing the game, there was a bunch of activists and rogues that ended up having to bullying everyone that did. And those bastards were actually in the wrong here. There are some major people that ended up being affected. Yeah, there are some major players that ended up being quite affected from this. And I'm gonna point out two of the major ones. The first one was Silvervale's disaster, which out of those shenanigans from the activist attack, she did end up having to break down in tears on stream. Yeah, she's done some crap. She definitely did not deserve any of that. Yeah, playing the game in general was definitely of no warranting of any of that. And that one wasn't the worst of it. Thankfully, this case isn't the worst of it. Especially considering that after a small break, she did end up recovering and clapping back. And yes, I do want to skip to the quotes here. Oh, sorry, I was busy kidnapping evil witches for my iFu machine. Yes, it contains evil witch fuel only. Narcophobia Z, welcome. I figured you'd walk in on this later. But anyway, I do have an article, but I'm gonna skip straight to the good stuff, which is the quotes from me. And this is the part where Silver actually called the activists Twitter freaks for the harassment involved, and she said, "Screw you guys, I'm playing Wizard game anyway." And that's a response from here. This was from, I think, a week break after she ended up breaking down and crying from activists straight up attacking her. Yes, I do not condone the idea. Yeah, I'm just going here. No, I do not condone the idea as the author. Just want to be a fucking wizard, she proclaimed. Want to play my wizard game that made my childhood worth living. I'm gonna be a fucking wizard and go and enjoy this fucking game, okay? I will not be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks with nothing better to do with their goddamn lives. To follow this up, Silvervale took aim at those harassing her and others for playing the game, telling them to do something better at the time already. Will not be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks with nothing better to do in their goddamn lives already. But if you want me to take it, just go to casual instead of just harassing streamers on the internet, okay? LBT people are awesome. Twitter people, however, are not awesome. Fuck you, she added. However, that's just the juicy parts I want to deal with here. Yeah, doing the shenanigans afterwards. After that was fun until another point. That other point ended up being that other point. Things seriously got nuclear. The other VTuber I'm going to deal with at hand. At hand, it happens to be Pikamee Amano. Pikamee Amano. I hate being tongue-tied. All she did was announce that she was going to stream the game, and those bastards went after her way too quick. She also broke down and had to take the rest of February off. And then March, which is this month as of this recording, started. And yes, I know I'm breaking my own rules here, but I have to in this case. Yeah, she announced that she was graduating at the end of March. And initially everyone thought definitely knew it was over the activists attacking her. Absolutely everyone was pissed, definitely myself included. Yeah, those punks ended up getting the roasting and toasting that they came for. Worst part of that is they actually saw this as a victory, but they are definitely wrong here. And that was the extreme backlash, and now it's become an even bigger backlash here. However, Pikamee has had. I'm just showing off the article here. I'm not dealing with it too much of that. However, Pikamee has had a return stream recently. Thankfully she's doing well. Thankfully she's doing well again. But definitely check her out. Definitely check her out throughout this month, because she will end things until there. Also, as it turns out from later developments, the graduation was actually planned. It was actually planned from this point on. An earlier point on, not this point on. However, this disaster definitely had a factor. Yeah, they seriously definitely have a factor here. And yes, thankfully she's dealt with nothing but support. she's dealt with nothing but good support from here. Yes, complete bastards are still attacking her. But the bright side of this, she's still going strong as of here, since the support is actually pouring in way more than the hate the bastards are dealing with. The bastards are dishing out to her and actually everyone else, including the many small targets, and that includes those people that they were supposedly defending. But thankfully that's being overshadowed in case of Pikamee's case for now. And yes, what I'm about to say is mandatory. Yes, because my girlfriend, she is boing boing. Best mandatory thing I've done, by the way. One of the best. Speaking of more mandatory things, I have to go back to this room for this. Yeah, here's some yeah, there are a bunch of more players that got this disaster rolling, but I won't deal with that until late. I won't deal with any other players until net sanity check. I know that this disaster will continue forward. I know this disaster is gonna have a bunch of shenanigans, and since I did announce that I will get the game through Francis Drake, since she broke the nouveau. I do have one message to any of the activist bastards and Twerfix that end up showing up here, and the clip that I will make soon after this. No, you've actually done nothing to you have actually done nothing to help you were supposed to help. All you did was make life worse for everyone, especially the T-site members you were supposedly defending. All you did was make their lives worse, and that's it. And that's including the ones that had nothing to do with this, or defending anyone that you guys bullied. From anything that I'm concerned, from all my concern from this point forward, you all can get fucked with a cactus. It's slathered in ghost pepper sauce with Tabasco sauce with ghost pepper flakes, and that's too light a punishment for you guys, to be honest. With this, I am done. With this, I'm done with this for now. Thankfully, I love the taste of blood and tears. So as my friend Epic Steve would said, yeah, the block party is going to be interesting. That's what he calls his block list. But that's enough on this disaster. Yeah, that's enough on this Grand Disaster. Now I'll be reading comments from chat from this. Twitter people aren't worth the machine. They only make hardcore pink hair yandus in their life is instead. Also, the Pikamee girlfriend boing boing big bad story stop on Groomba. Yes, the activists are creeps. Damn straight they're creeps. The asylum, yeah. I've literally seen less worse on the main asylum. The main asylum is still super deadly. Thankfully deadlier than those guys even wish to be. Remember, remember, there's people that love the taste of blood and tears in this asylum. Yes, that includes myself. But enough of that. Now on to the other big thing that's gone on. Yeah, and this is about Ohio. Yes, I think from the end of last year, Ohio kept getting memed left and right. But it turns out there was an unfortunate side effect to everything. Yeah, there was definitely an unfortunate side effect to everything. After, yeah, everyone, we jinxed Ohio. And I mean it, we seriously jinxed Ohio. Yes, and there's health concerns growing involving East Palestine, Ohio after the train derailment. Long story short of this, there's a train crash that ended up causing a huge explosion. And it caused Ohio to end up turning into Chernobyl. And from what I got, I think the entire internet straight up jinxed Ohio. It was mostly due to either crazy loot shenanigans from Pyongyang or something else. Yes, I'm referring to hentai's Pyongyang here. But that's only lightening the load due to the current overlord shenanigans. I don't know the current overlord's name, nor I would have to unless I pick it up from others. But the main article I do want to deal with was that those shenanigans were actually from a movie. This was straight out of a movie plot. After the trail derailment, Ohio residents are living a plot of a movie they actually helped make. Yes. You definitely read that right. Yeah, and I'm even more shocked here. This is actually from a movie plot, straight out of it. But Martha's family signed up in 2021 to be extras in the movie White Noise. They thought it'd be a fun stretch of their day-to-day life in blue collar Palestine, Ohio. Oh dear. And yeah, that aged way too well for them. Rottner, age 37, is in a traffic jam scene, sitting live cars trying to evacuate after a freight train collided with a tanker truck, triggering an explosion that filled the air with dangerous toxins. Another scene's father wears a trench coat and hat while people walk across an overpass to get out of town. The truckers told a group they wanted to look forlorn and downtrodden as they escaped the environmental disaster. The 2022 movie was shot around Ohio and is based on a novel by Don DeLeo. The book was published in 1985, shortly after a chemical disaster in Bhopal, India, that killed nearly 4,000 people. Book and film followed Gluttony's family. The couple and their 4 kids stay fleeing the airborne toxic event. They returned home to try to resume their normal lives. This turned out to be quite the prediction. So the movie and the novel ended up predicting this. Time is quite the strange being. Ratner tried to rewatch the movie a few days ago and found he couldn't finish it. All of a sudden, he hit too close to home, he said. Yeah, you're right. It's still shocking that it managed to predict it. It's still shocking that both the novel and movie managed to predict everything that ended up happening in real life here. Ratner and his family, his wife Lindsay and his kids, Lily, Izzy, Simon, and Brody, are living in fiction they helped bring to the screen. Ugh, poor things. Everyone has my sympathies here. That was... Yeah, that is still... Ugh. Officials ordered them to evacuate from their home last week, a day after Norfolk Southern train carrying 20 cars of hazardous materials slid off the rails and caught fire, threatening to explode. The National Transportation Safety Board is still investigating the case of the incident. The first half of the movie is all about almost exactly what's going on here, Ratner said Wednesday for this and their evacuation. The way a movie provided the point of grim humor about the situation facing the residents of East Palestine, a joke no one wanted to make. Well, everyone's been talking about that, Ratner said his friends in the neighborhood who are keeping close in touch with the crisis. After me and me more where I superimpose my face on a poster saying my friends. Oh man. Yeah, that jinx is what got us here. Scholars who studied Deleuze's work said they weren't surprised by a collision in life and art. His work is often described as persistent, says Jesse Cadavalo, an English professor at Maryville University in St. Louis, president and Don DeLuise Society. Terrible spill now is of course a coincidence, but plays in our minds like life imitating art, which was imitating life. On and on, because as DeLuise suggests, in white noise as well. Unfortunately, become too acquainted with the immediate language of enactment and disaster, Cavallo said. Ugh. Yeah, and it honestly would be, personally, this would be even scarier, being the fly in the wall of this disaster. A crushing blow. On February 3rd, Ratner was watching a Stars basketball game at local high school when the crash happened. He didn't hear it over the noise of the game, but when they walked out of the building, he could see the massive blaze. He shot a few seconds of video on his cell phone. His family returned to his house, which sits less than a mile from the crash site. Throughout the night, they say they heard sirens and got little information. Weren't sure exactly what the danger was until there. Ugh. While his family simply stepped nervously watching the fire in the news. Man, I wouldn't be asleep either after all of that. I would have worse trouble sleeping. The next morning, activity around the site picked up. There was a lot of commotion. Helicopters people I tell out of town, there was a little intense, he said. 7 kids had to stay with his wife's parents who lived about 2 miles from the crash site. Rhino wanted to work running a coffee shop and his wife owned Lips Market in nearby Salem. By afternoon, official warned that people needed to move even farther beyond a 2-mile radius. Roughly half the town's 4,800 residents had to evacuate. Front for letting them stay in the pool house, and then they later had to move to another friend's house next to their cafe. School was canceled for the entire week and they got the dog out of the house, but they had to leave the pet turtle behind. Oh man. Ugh. Hey, that turtle definitely has my sympathies here. This is really messed up. For now, they're keeping the distance, so even after they go back, they have to decide whether they'll stay. East Palestine is in an economically depressed area already, Ratner said, but been on a rebound. He and his wife have been considering opening another cafe there, but now they're worried that plan is in jeopardy. Yeah, already definitely cut your losses. That cafe belongs somewhere else. So we've been raising our kids, finishing college, buying a business, and that's been our place, he said. In future, we can have to sell a house? So are they money at this point? Ugh. Only time will tell, unfortunately. Someone is what it's coming home to. 5 of the trainers on a train that overturned last week is carrying liquid violent chloride, which is extremely combustible. Last time it became unstable and threatened to explode. First response emergency workers had to vent the tankers, Spill a vinyl chloride into the trench and burn off before it turned the train to a bomb. Before it turned the train to a bomb. Before the student explosion could send sharpened up a mile away, but that thankfully didn't happen. Control burnt worked and the evacuation order for each Palestinian residence officially lifted that Wednesday after real-time air and water monitoring did not find contaminant levels above screaming limits. While winds have been recording, the community have been at normal concentrations, normal backgrounds. It's fine almost any community. James Justice, a representative of U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, said a briefing Wednesday. Yeah, amazing luck with your name, Manny. Congratulations. Although authorities and residents had immediate danger it passed, some residents have yet to return home. Residents are worried about a longer-term risk that the environmental officials only began their access. He had real-time air readings, which use handheld instruments to abruptly screen for classes of contaminants. Like volatile organic compounds showed the air quality near the site was within normal limits. Or so it seems. Yeah, I bet things are still very bad news there. Personally, I would have stood out. Up to this point, officials have been looking for a large immediate threat, exposed to chemical levels that could somehow make someone acutely ill. On the streets, been the emergency response calling the Ohio EPA's official office of emergency response said on Wednesday. See emergency service go back home off-site. Hobby was going to remain involved through our other divisions that oversee a long-term cleanup of these kinds of spills. Keep Mara aside, which could take years. Ugh. Yeah, and that's the crash at hand. However, after scanning this is actually everything that I wanted to deal with except for one certain part. The ending right here. So disaster in real life. First strand plastics, the acid start rolling again midweek. Warren said the roar of trains sound used to hear to now is not jarring. Sounds a lot trucks are off putting, he said. Ryan said it was fun part of his disaster movie. Sounds starkly comedic Netflix streamers starring Adam Driver, Greta Gerwig, and Don Cheadle. Real life, however, the situation has been gutting. Those are great actors, it's hard to see this as a put on, Rutner said. Shows the sentiment of Elaine Galvin, a local tattoo artist who wrote a letter to Norfolk Southern CEO Alan Shaw on Tuesday, expressed the town's anger and frustration over the accident. It swept us into a small town mile, a place we want to be, Galvin wrote. You might be beachfront property or have even the highest paying jobs or much else to offer, but my experience life the place that most people want to be is we need a helping hand, a shoulder to cry on. Friend of prayer authority, a place to call home East Palestine, always been that place to want to be. Silence note, which was publicly posted on Facebook then. Events which have occurred to railroad gave us a small town life that's now taken the life, the heartbeat, unity, and the security of families and individuals long war away. Possibly, definitely. Yeah, it is definitely. Ugh. None of you deserved none of this. It turns out for art did end up intimidating life. I'm imitating and intimidating life here. Ugh. It's seriously fucked up here. Ugh. We need to step out. Yeah, we need to step out. Don't worry, I can thankfully stomach more Ohio relate means, but yeah, not too much involved in this actual disaster. Honestly, missing when it's just loot shenanigans and calling it normal shenanigans in Ohio. But yeah, we jinxed it. We so jinxed it. Yeah, that movie and novel ended up jinxing that place and the rest of the internet fault the jinx forward. That's enough of that. The rest of this should be fun stuff from here. No, not fun stuff. We still have a lot of BS to sift through. A lot of nuke level BS, but some end up being funny. Yes, some of definitely ended up being funny here. But this one's also more sad than funny. We'll have to go back in. So yeah. Going back on to Groundhog Day shenanigans, and here we have something that is actually more sad than funny, to be honest. So yeah, Canadian Groundhog was found dead just before he was supposed to predict as if we'd get more winter. And yes, that was on Groundhog Day, the moment of. The soothsaying groundhog then ends up dropping dead then and there. Right before we end up seeing the poor thing's shadow. Honestly, the worst blue ball I've ever seen in years. I seriously feel for everyone back there. Quebec's beloved groundhog, Fred DeLamont, died before he could predict the end of winter. The event's organizer said Fred likely died during hibernation. Oh dear. And a group of children took Fred's place and predicted 6 more weeks of winter. Oh. Good thing this kids end up having to carry on here. Still, I feel sorry for everyone involved. The nuke level bullshit is real. Quebec's beloved groundhog, Fred DeLamont, died just before he could predict when we will end at Canadian Sea's Ground Day celebration, according to multiple reports. Prospectors got Thursday morning for the event involved as Explorer Quebec with the organizer of the event. Roberto Blondin came out to announce Fred's death. Local outlet Global News responded. Oh, this year things are going to happen completely differently. It's a famous saying it goes. In life, there's only one certainty. Nothing's for certain. One that told the crowds reported by the CBC. Well, this year, that has come true. It's true, it's unfortunate. Here to announce Fred's death. Bond saying went to wake Fred last night in the ground at no Valentine. Oh man, this ended up being during hibernation after all. They were right. This was right on the day of. Ugh. I'm gonna need a drink after this. Global News reported that the celebration continued in place of Fred. A group of children actually volunteered to offer their prediction. We got 6 more weeks of winter as a result. Bond said that next year Ground Day celebration will continue with Fred's successor, Fred Jr., Global News reported. And Quebec isn't the only place slated for more winter. Up north Nova Scotia's groundhog, Shibandachi Sam, saw her shadow. I mean, 6 more weeks of winter there as well, according to Global News. Now that was actually what we got. And yes, that's everything for this article. So yeah, this ended up being quite bittersweet. Yeah, we got a bittersweet ending to an otherwise a bleak disaster. Back to the scanner room now. And we're on to the next disaster. And yes, this is a pattern. We're in the animal kingdom again now. Yeah, we're right on the animal kingdom. And we're going from extremely tragic to both tragic and weird at the same time. And yeah, I know I'm secret positioning right now. VC Face always does this from time to time. But anyway, let's move it. Yes, since being a rabbit here, I'm not too fond of snakes. Yeah, I like snakes, but not too fond of them, actually. However, let's jump right forward, because this next one, when I first ran into it, this is extremely weird. We're on the extremely weird department right now. So, yeah, so some missing grandma spy got found inside a monster python who actually swallowed her whole. Yes, this was the python at hand. And yes, this is from India of all places. Not actual River City. This is from India of all places. Where snakes do meet up from time to time. However, in not so friendly scenarios. And here I am wondering what the hell she did here. She definitely was not like, from the gauge of things, she was definitely not like those guys that tried to kiss their cobras and as a result definitely got bit. But let's move it. So grandmother swapped by a whole 22-foot long python in Indonesia. I'm sorry, I guessed wrong. This was Indonesia. I read that entirely wrong. This was in Indonesia. It's the first time I've heard from Indonesia in a good while. I was wondering how those guys were doing. Turns out, as wacky as always. And some of them like their fair share of snakes. Once again, the grandmother was swallowed by a 22-foot long python in Indonesia. With shocking video capturing the moment her remains were found inside the cut open beast. Police told CNN Indonesia that a search was launched after the victim, only identified as Jopra, age 54, failed to return from collecting rubber from a plantation in Jambi province on Sunday. Husband secured the area, but only found his wife's sandals, jacket, headscarf, and knife. Matama Jambi Police Chief AKB told the outlets. Oh man. So this was a fight that this monster picked and won. Ugh. This is why outside Metal Gear Solid no one likes snakes. He returned to the same area with a search party the next day, stumbling across a giant snake with a slow midsection where he'd eaten something large, police confirmed. Ugh. While video shows a volunteer carefully using a branch to pin the python's head down as the others start bashing it above the swollen area. Oh man. That's even worse. Yeah, that's even worse, considering it was a person in there. Definitely no hindsight whatsoever. The disturbing clip then cut to the villagers carefully slicing it open, for what officials say was the swallowed body of the missing grandma. Everyone was astonished. Anto, the head of the local Gahab village, told Viral Press. Thought the woman we were looking for was in the snake's stomach. The snake can likely bit jaw and then suffocate her, but wrap itself around her before swallowing her, and said Anto, who estimated it would have taken at least 2 hours. It's not even a record for a village where a 27-foot long python's previously spotted, Anto said. Wow. Wow. Ugh. Everyone involved has my sympathies. Everyone involved except for that snake. Once again, it's why no one likes snakes. Well, outside Metal Gear. One Galway official said, leaving locals worried that bigger snakes are still in the forest. And that's the end. So yeah, this old woman ended up dealing with a snake she could not handle at all. Yeah, this was rough. Yeah, I know this is graphic. But thankfully there isn't any actual video of that. I'm afraid I wouldn't play it without Mr. Nasty Filthy Thing, without the Nasty Filthy Things Association getting mad at me. I'm already ready for a Twitter Freak Association, but not the Nasty Filthy Things Association. And no, not the good kind either. Not the kind I'm used to in Cell Block 34. Yeah, that's enough of that. Honestly, like looking at dissections like this. But only because I think it's cool. I think the side of it's cool. It's the circumstances that are screwed up. Hospital shenanigans, some surgeries, and science experiments. Yeah, I can handle those just fine. Ugh. Yes, I can also handle stuff like this. It's still very tragic. Yeah, that shit's actually very tragic. Speaking of tragedies, this next disaster involves a Valentine's Day, or as I affectionately call it, Valentine's Day. Everyone worth a damn is tired of it. Including completely wrecked places like India. However, what India tried to do with the holiday, what they tried to do was honestly based. Yes, that's what something that I'm about to get into right now. So, there. No, I can't smile. So yes, India tried to reform Valentine's Day is National Hug a Cow Day. To honor the animals that they consider sacred. However, that ended up receiving a ton of backlash. Those we're about to get into here. So from New Delhi, it's Valentine's Day in India after all. This wasn't always the government's intention. The government was forced to withdraw an appeal urging students to celebrate this February 14th. Not as Valentine's Day anymore, but at National Hug a Cow Day after widespread the criticism. Hugging a cow brings emotional richness and hence increase individual and collective happiness, declared the appeal of the Animal and Wildlife Board in India. Government by advises the country's Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying. So, all he wanted to do was hug some cows. Apparently that's too much for a lot of people. Bill said that intention was to ward off the dazzle of Western civilization. Reference to culture and physicists the Hindu nationalist government apparently deems harmful in the nation. Valentine's Day is one such Western import. Hindu nationalist groups have run campaigns for years against the calendar event, couples in the hands of public around Valentine's Day even been attacked of all things. Ugh. Yeah, they really meant it when they said they want Valentine's Day destroyed. That's a good on them, but I'm not condoning attacking people here. Just for a holiday to be abolished. Folk traditions associated to Hindu religious texts are among the verge of extinction due to the progress of Western culture over time. Cows are considered sacred by Hindus, which make up the majority of India's enormous population. The animals are loved and referred to as Kali Mata or Mother Cow in Hindi and are worshipped. Government agencies hug a cow appeal calling them the backbone of Indian culture. We give it all, providing riches to humanity because of their nourishing nature. No idea if gathering their milk is actually illegal or not here. I'm not there. There. It's obviously illegal here. It's obviously legally in Madhouse domain. Even though there's enough shenanigans there. Including some other field that popped up. Including some other extremely strange field that popped up this whole time. But you're not getting news of that until the Twitch debut. I'm sorry. Campaign prompted widespread criticism on the internet. Bovine themed memes and cartoons went viral mocking the government without any explanation. The Animal Welfare Board yanked the appeal on February 10th, so it was only doing so as directed by other authorities. No, as always, no one can have fun here. Is government cowed by jokes man and expertise, or is it merely cowardice? Shashi Faldor, an opposition party leader, wrote on Twitter something of the Sheikh Cassidy agency. And everyone had to have a cow here. And yes, cow slaughter is illegal in most parts of India. Critics have accused Prime Minister Narendra of using the legal protection council to marginalize the Muslim minority. In the country's Muslim minority, accusation government has always declined. That results to violent cow disasters. This unquote. And so yeah, last month was not good for the cows at all. It was good for none of the cows at all. And I bet it wasn't that good for any cow hybrids at all either. And now I know I've made it. No. Go back. Let's go back to the scanner room for that. Yes, I can definitely say that. As of here, I definitely made a certain space cow sneeze. But I won't elaborate on that any further. Honestly like that space cow. Don't know if I follow her already, but I definitely will after it. Well, I definitely will during the preparations. So anyway, onward to the next disaster. And yes, that next disaster, this next disaster is also in India. We've moved away from the animal kingdom. And yeah, brace yourselves, this is upsetting. This is one of the more, this one's honestly one of the more upsetting parts of tonight. And it also goes on the example of why no one in their right mind in today's day and age would ever consider getting married, especially if you own a penis. This domain, I happen to be a futanari. Yes, that means me. So, nothing was in the cards for me regardless. Didn't want that bullshit anyway. Oh yeah, reading from chat. Oh, those poor bone vines. Miserable animal. Also bad on me, apparently. Hey, don't get me wrong, beef actually tastes very good. And so does their milk. That's why, unless some extreme dieting has to be involved, that I'm not quitting eating a cow every now and then. Also, I was listening while making lime lemonade. Sorry for lack of responses. Oh, don't worry, Necro. Don't worry. However, the bullshit is far from over. So yeah. Some wife and her parents, the in-laws, ended up beating up some poor guy for forgetting their wedding anniversary. Disgusting. Disgusting. That is all-mac divorce. All-mac divorce. All-mac divorce. I don't care what comes of it. I don't care what comes of it. And actually, for many countries, in a lot of those times, even though he survived a beat, even for surviving a beat down, walking away, and nothing else, the husband hand still always ends up being arrested. Even if he's done nothing at all, even if he just took the beatings. Another reason why no one's even dealing with relationships anymore. Shit like that. It's honestly disgusting, and whoever made that, Lord help you if I end up finding you in the main asylum. Or the other place that happens to be in the domain outside the asylum. And that's if the ghosts and zombies didn't deal with them first. But angry tangents aside, strange case came to light in Mumbai where a man forgot to wish his wife a happy anniversary. Then the in-laws beat him up, a 27-year-old Gluctopod resident along with her brother and parents. Yes, I know I definitely butchered that one. How well. They bashed up her husband as the man failed to wish her on their wedding anniversary in the month of February. Ugh. So that must have had a too taxing time at work, and things ended up slipping his mind. I know it happened, but this is no excuse for this bullshit. Thankfully, he did report it. He reported them all. The police said the man missed his anniversary, and the angry wife called up on her parents and brother, the matrimonial home, to inform this. Then all of them together ganged up on him, beat the crap out of the man, and the mother broke his vehicle. Wow. Wow. The Glock Park police have booked all 4 accused. Good. Good. Thankfully, this said nothing about them booking the poor husband. Normally, that also happens. According to police, the victim, Vishnu Nagade, is a driver in Kotor company, and his wife, Kapla, who worked in food outlet, lived in Bangawadi Golvandi. The couple got married back in 2018. 4 of them thankfully have been booked for assault. A notice has been given to them, and the inquiry and the measure will be done for taking appropriate legal actions against them. Stated by Senior Inspector Sanjay Dahok, the Koktopar Police Station. Ugh. Absolutely disgusting all around. Good message from Narcothobia Z. Habazami Mook said they'd much rather be in the minion pods, the dog cage, and be married when they were once human again. Ugh. Your goons are better off. Your goons are way better off. Literally everyone's better off. Seriously feel for the poor guy here. I'm going outside again. That was extremely taxing. The amount of it. The amount of scummery here. Damn. It won't end here. The scummery won't end here. Yeah, scummery definitely won't end here. But around that time is also we're supposed to hold gratitude for loved ones. For loved ones and those who need the sympathies. And those who need the sympathies, like some of the elderly here. However, this next one, yeah. Get ready for even more nuke level BS. Yeah. We're gonna delve into even more nuke level BS. Hold on just a moment. We gotta go back in. Oh, I forgot I need a drink. Ugh. There we go. There you go. I just had to deal with that. Yeah, now then. Now then, get ready for more nuke level BS. I understand adult shenanigans. I understand adult culture. Hell, everyone that's been this rabbit hole has taken part of it. I've borrowed a lot of things from it. But yeah, this next level, that's part of nuke level BS. Ugh. I know I already have no faith in humanity whatsoever, but dear Lord. Yeah, that last ankle was disgusting. I need Lyman to get rid of that BS. Yeah. Yeah, here we're gonna deal with some more here. So, woman robbed the elderly of 5 million yen to chase idols. Oh man. There are tons of ways to support your Oshi. This shit ain't one of them. The college student was arrested after she cheated a naive elderly woman out of a total of 5 million yen, which is about $37,000 American. Perhaps the most grotesque aspect about the case is the fact she didn't spend the money towards idols. Oh. 22-year criminal is a fourth-year student in the faculty of literature at Chol University, and she worked together with a friend to fraud an old woman in her 70s inside Tama out of 5 million yen. She carried out this step by pretending to be the woman's son, saying, "We urgently need cash for work procedures." Oh my lord. Yeah, what work procedures? Yeah, what work procedures? The means that Tyrone Incorporated. Moving forward, this wasn't the first time the culprit pulled such stunts as she was arrested a month prior for doing that same thing to another old woman in Kanagawa. Yeah, mainly the allegations, the woman used money to chase after Alice, saying, "Yeah, I have a feeling I was doing something wrong, but I try not to think about it too much." Then why the hell did you do it? Why are you robbing old people? People just to chase their Oshi. Ugh, my god. Lost my faith in any the day I was born on this puny pebble of a plant, yeah. Ugh, I used to have faith in humanity. Those were good times. Think I'm faring far better now that I've seen the truth. Especially to a bull kind of like this. This is absolutely disgusting. Thankfully, we're finally done with the grime. We're finally done with the grimiest parts of tonight. We are thankfully finally done with the grimier parts of tonight. That was absolutely foul. However, we're still doing with some more grime. But on one condition. This is actually considering it's taking place here, this is actually far lighter than everything else we've covered thus far. Don't worry, it's still pretty messed up, but it's still far lighter. However, from this next disaster, from what I gotta say here, and borrowing from someone that I've borrowed this from. This is definitely more about the money than the... No, not the money. This is more about the message than the money. And now I think about it, I think I forgot one other topic. What? I need to get to that while I have the thought on me. Ooh. Oh, I ran to this other one, but I almost missed it. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. I'm glad I caught that. Yeah, this was messed up. I just remind myself of some BS I almost missed out on. And yes, that involves Japan. And it's the most ridiculous of that bunch. It is so ridiculous. It's ridiculous and it's also nasty. Yeah, I'm adding something else to the docket, but oh well. Can't believe I almost missed that. Man. Shame is too real. And why am I not on live chat here? Wow. What's it with me? What am I doing? Oh yeah, Jackson's sick in case you're wondering. That's why she's been inactive lately. Oh dear. I hope she gets well soon. Hear it from me, I hope she gets well soon. F for respects. Ugh, man. Now back then, before the light bulb struck me in the face again. Here's this next disaster. And once again, this is more about the money. No, not the money. Oh. Tongue, why you keep doing this to me? This is more about the message than the money here. And I'll tell you why. So a man rejected by a woman ends up suing her for 3 million Singaporean over some trauma from finding out that he was only a friend. Ugh. Ugh. And a bit of a pro tip, you have to, if you're gonna date someone, you have to know her of where you're going to go with each other while away. Whether it's nothing serious or an actual serious relationship. If they don't find it with neither, if he or she doesn't like it, then straight up move on. There's too many people to deal with anyway. That's something you should have took up, but that's something this guy should have took up, but still. From Singapore. Man was rejected romantically by a woman who has launched 2 lawsuits against her for failing to improve the relationship and for the emotional trauma he'd suffered and other impacts on his life. Mr. K. Covenshaw filed one suit against Miss Nora Tanchume in the magistrate's court for $22,000 Singaporean in damages for purportedly breaching an agreement to improve their relationship. The second was filed in the High Court for $3 million for the emotional trauma he allegedly suffered after finding out that she saw him as only a friend. Ugh. And before anyone cries foul, the gender reverse has happened before this. And that lawsuit was actually over a bad date where he walked out. He walked out on her and she decided to sue him, and that ended up setting the bad precedent. Thankfully, that bad precedent ended up meeting up with this. According to court documents later obtained by the CNA, he also claimed that her accident caused damage to his stellar reputation, followed by trauma, depression, and impacts of life over a 24-month period. Lawsuit magistrate's court was struck by a deputy registrar, Louis Tan, according to a judgment published on Saturday, January 28th. And at the time, Mr. Tan called the civil suit an abusive process and said the court not being accessory Mr. Covan's calculated attempt to compel engagement with Ms. Tan. Ugh. So already you know of the verdict right here. If the judge or jury were legit based, then he would have a winning chance, but not here. We're dealing with complete bastards in this society. However, this is more on the message than the money. If more and more cases like this show up with guys suing women over both bad dates and friendzone disasters, then there would be a lot more popcorn worthy moments here. It'll be a lot more entertaining, I will give you that. Yeah, there's a background of the relationship, and I'll definitely point. Oh yeah, there's a lot, but we're gonna get through this, don't worry. The background of the relationship. According to the judgment, Mr. Covenshaw first attended the social setting in 2016. Became friends, but the problem began out right around September 2020, where they became misaligned about how they saw their relationship, said Mr. Tan. Yeah, and that's where he messed up right then and there. It's not knowing her of his intentions right away. On a serious romantic relationship, some friends with benefit shenanigans, smoke up shenanigans, or anything of the sort. Once again, if any of them don't like her, or they cry foul, definitely walk off. There's way better people to deal with than they phone gas. Continuing forward. Mrs. Tan saw Mr. Covenshaw as a friend, but Mr. Covenshaw considered her as his closest friend. In discussion at fault, Miss Tan asked for interactions to be reduced. Damn it. That's the big hint right there. This caused displeasure with Mr. Covenshaw and felt this could consider taking a step back in the relationship. Ms. Tan emphasized the need for boundaries and to restrict their meetups until urging Mr. Covenshaw to be self-reliant. In exchange to lay out in the judgment, Ms. Tan tried to reason with Mr. Covenshaw, telling him that her discomfort was genuine. Mr. Covenshaw replied, "Yeah, your discomfort is fake as the cause." He later said, "Don't you get? I don't care about you anymore from here on. From now on, you're responding and I am the claimant. And emotionally, until the day I die, you're the cause of my trauma." So yeah, he did not take it well, but actually took it in a more, took this in a rather useful way. He didn't take it well, but took this in a rather useful way of suing her. Once again, I'm fine with more cases like this. So that the message will end up roaring forward. Once again, this ain't about the money or his chances of winning. It's more on the message here. It's the same as the Joker from the Dark Knight burning that huge tower of money. This is that scenario right here. Continuing forward, Miss Tam replied, "Yeah, I've heard this before." Mr. Cravenshaw went on to say that, "Yeah, we will talk again once every single person disposes of you. You find you were wrong about me and you truly hurt me." Miss Tam asked him what she was wrong about. Mr. Cravenshaw replied, "Get lost. I'll see you in court." Later at, "I'm going about without the aim of winning, especially if I'm right." Yeah, well, yet once again, this is indeed losing. Then the counseling sessions. Weeks after a woman claimed to be Mr. Cavenshaw's counselor reached out to Miss Tan and asked that Miss Tan participate in the counseling sessions. Thinking that would help Mr. Cavenshaw come to terms with things, Miss Tan agreed. Legal proceedings that Miss Cavenshaw threatened were kept at bay while Miss Tan complied, but the sessions bore little fruit. Yeah, AKA they tried to have him give up, but no way. He's continuing on. And as he should, actually. Miss Tan kept up in the counseling sessions for 1.5 years, but stopped them thereafter she felt were meaningless and futile. She also grew unable to deal with Mr. Cavenshaw's unreasonable request, the register noted. And sometime before April 2022, Miss Tan initiated harassment proceedings against Mr. Cravenshaw. In response, he messaged Miss Tan to say he also suffered hurt in the process. Again, learning that a potential claim against her is in terms like duty of care, damaging a strong legal basis, and making your liability worse. He wrote, "In a nutshell, right, my hurt. A portion that is affected by your ways, and it's due process that don't fall in the system and prevent the harm I've gone through. A lot of harm could have avoided if you fought the other side of due process." He also claimed he had damage that he had strong legal basis. I'm pretty sure he did not see he did not see this from a mile away at all. Stan digested the messages and tried to change the topic while faced the prospect of civil action. She suggested adding a counselor to the chat group, but Mr. Cavenshaw asked Miss Tan to get back on improvement summary as planned, so he could review the list together before sending it to the council. Hopefully it's at least apologizing to him for wasting his time. But I have a feeling that definitely wasn't the case for her then. None of those type apologize to him for wasting a good man's time. So this is where used by Mr. Cavenshaw as an agreement. There's an agreement that former of the basis of his claims in the magistrate's court. This is also a source of significant conflict between the pair, said the deputy registrar. And Mr. Cavenshaw insists on increasing interaction and sharing with Miss Tan and willing to maintain boundaries. For example, he pressed for detailed sharing while meeting up. He later asked to go on a long weekend and Miss Tan rejected him. Mr. Cavenshaw said, "I think you know how badly I need me. It's been long overdue and it's affecting." Either he's extremely desperate there, or he's or he's being an elaborate troll here. I'm assuming it's the elaborate troll route. Differences arose in Miss Tan attempted to maintain distance. Mr. Cavenshaw saw this breach the agreement that caused him hurt. More instances like this, Miss Tan stopped communicating with Mr. Cavenshaw, and on May 14th, 2022, she could no longer deal with this unreasonable request and his inability to respect their personal boundaries. Then on June 2nd, 2022, Mr. Cavenshaw sent Miss Tan a letter informing that he was making offers an amicable resolution before coming in a civil action against her. She did not reply. Then, moving on to High Court suit, Miss Tan didn't reply to the offer to sell. Mr. Cavenshaw initiated the High Court action against her on July the 7th. He claimed damages in excess of $3 million as Singaporean for allegedly defamatory remarks and negligent conduct. Clinton remarks suggesting he had harassed and spied on her and caused him to suffer damage to his stellar reputation, so his trauma and depression impacts into his life. Yeah, as of course they would. They ended up countersuing on for all of that. $3 million figure also included indefinite loss of potential investments amounting to $1.2 million. Meanwhile, Ms. Tan obtained an expedite protection order against Mr. Covenshaw and filed her defense and counterclaim to high court action. It's also said she was the victim of Mr. Covenshaw's harassment, that he had sent her threatening messages saying that she had to maintain communications with him for a face civil proceedings and or police action. Mr. Covenshaw claimed $22,000 Singapore in special damages in magistrate court suit. Concerning capacity as an active high capital, triggered by 9, the business CEO by didn't been negatively affected. Yeah, because of course that's what lawsuits do. They drain you dry. In addition, he said he had spent time and energy to scramble and source for deeper psychological assistance. Sorry. I have to take a drink again. But a bit later. Deputy Register Louis Tan brought Miss Tansworth said Miss Covenshaw commenced a suit about that she no longer wants to have contact with him in any way. Miss Covenshaw refusing to accept this fact. Little support by his correspondence with her over the years have detailed the both, said Mr. Tan. Five evidence clearly reveal his tendency to resort to legalese and raise threats of litigation and compel compliance for the defendant. But have been successful for it appears that the defendant now resolved to stand up against his threats. With the amount of evidence against him, the claimant has not provided any evidence in the spare affidavit to shine a different line. The picture pointed to Mr. Tan. Thought the magistrate court action was intentionally initiated by Mr. Covenshaw, or two or more preventing or oppressing by Ms. Tan by requiring her to defend various claims. According to Ms. Tan's lawyers, Sergeant Pereira and Ms. Chang Zhong, court on Tuesday ordered Mr. Covenshaw pay $14,000 plus GST in disturbance to Ms. Tan. Stands a long-term personal protection order application against Mr. Covenshaw. Trial is continuing in February. Separately, she also lodged a magistrate's complaint against Covenshaw. Her lawyer said, "The matter is still pending as of here. It's fixed for a case conference in February as of writing this." So this is a war that neither is giving up until either one runs out of money or the other finally, or any of them finally give up. Once again, this isn't about the money, this is actually about the message here. Message here involving wasted time and nothing else. But I'll leave. But that's enough for me. But that's enough for me. Don't get me wrong. Both parties are complete bastards here. But at the same time, I feel more for him, considering I feel only a bit more for him. And only a bit more. That's because of the stunt in general. And that's enough for this disaster. It's quite the long one. However, from here on is the fun stuff. However, from here on, it's the fun stuff, and I'm gonna need to take another drink. Another drink and a restraint from this Oishigure position. I'll be right back. And I'm back. And at correct positioning here. Yeah, that reminds me. It ends up reminding me of Holocure. This makes me wonder if... This makes me wonder... Oh yeah, the water beam is definitely going to be involved. I think it'll be a special if once Watame shows up. That's once Watame Tsunomaki shows up. But I think it's gonna either be a collab special or a pure special. Most pure specials are area of effect, are entirely area of effect. Well, some are both. Oh yeah, some are both involved themselves. Oh yeah, they all both involve themselves in an entire area of effect. There's just a few specials where it involves the field. But enough on that right now. But enough crackdowns on that right now. And oh yeah, definitely not Lee Beam. Or so I think. If he does end up being called Wee Beam. Yeah, he's gonna get some notices. He's gonna get some notices from Lee Shigure there. There's been nothing shenanigans and destruction from the Wee Beam. It's allegedly highly destructive. I still have clips involving that. Especially the Precure reference involved with one of the clips. That's in my all-time favorites. But enough of that. We'll move on to actually funny shenanigans. The tragedy is over with. Well, not entirely over with, but still, most of the tragedies are over with. So get this police force, no, not the police force that ran a train on that one hoe, they're currently going through some bogus lawsuit. They're currently going through some bogus lawsuit now that accountability is set in for the centerpiece at hand. But we're talking about a different police force. Turns out those guys were based. Based how? They skipped to Easter. They skipped Valentine's Day straight to Easter. Here's how I skipped straight to Easter. I love me, but no thank you. Police crack cases of 20,000 stolen cream eggs in Telford. They had their own Easter egg hunt 2 months ahead of time. He said, "Fuck Valentine's Day. We can skip the rest of the day. We can skip everything to Easter." But St. Patrick's is our busiest. Nah, screw that noise too. We're bringing Easter early. The theft of 2,000 Cadbury cream eggs from an industrial estate nearby threw Easter into doubt, according to police. The West Mercia force said it had been hunting individuals, presumably purporting to be the Easter. Oh dear, so the Easter Bunny was down on his luck. Was down on his luck and not an Animal Crossing this time. Yeah, and I actually have an Animal Crossing calendar. Oh yeah, his birthday is Saturday. His birthday is Saturday the 11th of March. I think that's when he shows up, I think, in the game first to note you of Easter. Yeah, I honestly missed that game. Anyway, but it's not. Yeah, but this isn't Peter we're dealing with. We're doing some crook here. Springtime chocolate treats vanished on the gooey fondant centers from Union and Telefon on Saturday. The eggs were found. Police stopped the vehicle on them for 2 Motorway, the force said. Yeah, officers saved Easter for cream egg fans. Recovery of confectionery valued at almost 40,000 pounds. Or 40,000 pound notes. A lot here. Police said other chocolate varieties were taken from a site in Stanford Park. But the force appeared to flake on those details. The 32-year-old man with no fits to blow has been charged with criminal damage and 2 counts of theft. This a should. I love my Cadbury cream eggs, but this is too much. This is way too much. In fact, I ended up coming up with a new idea. With a new poll idea. It's gonna go on until the end of the stream. One of the areas and domains I hang out with, which is Nick's Discord domain, which is Nick Starling's Discord domain. There was a Peeps Festival and there was a Peeps Festival there. Turns out he loved Peeps more than anything. Yeah, there are some people that don't even like the things, but he ended up loving those. I like them too. However, I like Cadbury cream eggs more. Yeah, there's caramel eggs, there's the chocolate eggs. I like the eggs more. Cream eggs especially. I know I already ate some white chocolate earlier this week. But that's because this week has my father's birthday. Hope he has a happy birthday regardless. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get some cream eggs here. Some cream eggs, some Peeps, nothing else. I don't want to go overboard. I still have to maintain a low sugar diet. I want to maintain it. And I also want to maintain it for the rest of my days forward. I love my candy, but candy don't love me that much. So I'm doing this now. Oh yeah, for those that have not heard of either of these, definitely note your favorite. Definitely note your favorite in chat. Yeah, definitely know which is more of your favorites in chat. I dropped the poll just now. So without too much going on to the next topic. Oh my, I hit my mic on accident. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. However, there are two sources on this next disaster, but thankfully I found this disaster on this other site because, yeah, the further you stay from Reddit, the better. Yeah, especially the better. Yes, I affectionately call that place Reddit, but no. But no, not this time. Yeah, the same that asked this exact same question right on Girls Ask Guys. Yes, it's still about here. So what's this disaster going on here? That's also because the best answer here. There's the best answer here. It doesn't. Yeah, I know I have an answer this too, but it doesn't deal with justice. Yeah, it doesn't deal with justices there. Without too much further ado, let's dive in. So clearly go work. Yeah, I have to use a more polarizing voice. I'm so colleague at work 27. So colleague at work 27 male. Of one year refused to socialize with me, 24-year-old female, or am I of the women in our office? Ugh, man. And there's good reason. Yeah, there's always good reason why. There's always good reason why. The workforce today is extremely taxing. For anyone owning a penis. Like I said in one of my 12 days of lunacy. If you even get roped into the wrong topic, if it's reportable to human resources, or what I like to affectionately call them subhuman resources, if anything gets to them, it's his ass. That's the worst part of it. That's why assessors end up keeping to themselves today in the workplace. Much to the dismay of all vagina owners and the simps out there. But I digress. So hi, I'm posting this on now because I know a few of my friends are following me on here. I want to spell it out so I have some clear thoughts on what I want to do. The too long didn't read part of this. A 27-year-old male colleague joined our firm last year, and since he had serious issues with socialization with the guys we work with, but always find excuses says no hanging out with the girls after work. Even if we go out together as a whole, he rarely talks to us. It's making some of my friends uncomfortable. Yeah, then again, a lot of you asked for this. No idea why we find this uncomfortable. Oh wait, the attention from someone you're attracted to, never mind that. This from understanding of being both genders here. So early last year, our firm hired Dan. In the first few weeks, he was really quiet and didn't talk too much. That's just how I thought he was. Every conversation was so shortened to a point and never deviate from works aside from pleasantries. Have a nice weekend, Sarah. And about 2 months in, we started becoming a bit more fluent with the guys in our office and hang out every so often and have normal conversations. However, when any of the girls in our office tried to do so, he'll quickly change the conversation back to work and just not reply. Even though after a year, Dan worked with us straight up, he refused to socialize with the girls in the office. Sorry. He refused to associate with the girls in the office, and we tried to do so. He'll quickly change the conversation back to work and just not reply. Even now, after a year of working, Dan working with us, he straight refused to socialize with the girls in the office, and it's making him feel uncomfortable. He avoids any discussion with himself outside work-related events and future plans, and doesn't ask any of the girls either. However, as he is, I can only assume pretty good friends with the guys in the office. Even on work meals or out to celebrate events, he's only doing the bare minimum when it comes to conversation with the girls. And again, with the guys, he talks to them like there's no problem whatsoever. I don't know if I'm overreacting. One of the girls consider and talk to Subhuman Resources, aka SHR, about this because she is saying it's creating a hostile work environment. Dan treats us like he treats clients to work with, cordial and strictly about business, and it's wearing thin now. And advice is appreciated. Yeah, first off, I don't know if this is either you or someone else, but for even thinking about it, you're the assholes here. Reporting someone being cordial to Subhuman Resources is never good. Ugh. Yeah, this is definitely a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation here. Associate with women in the workforce, even as minimally as this, you still get trounced by Subhuman Resources. Avoid them entirely. Trounced by Subhuman Resources. Do it them too much, or one of them finds you creepy, or your shot was incorrect. Or a shot was incorrect even outside work. You get screwed up by Subhuman Resources. You can't win here. There's no winning here. However, here's the answer I've been teasing. I have to deal with my best voice here.
I know exactly why he's being this way, as I've also done the same thing once too. He's doing it to protect himself, most likely because he had bad experience with women or multiple women on the job in his past before that led to something troublesome. He is not being cold or distant with you or the other females as intended malice. He's doing it to protect himself in this job. He's aware that a girl can complain about a guy to management simply for dropping a pen or tying the shoes. Wants to make sure nothing he says or does is going to be something she'll sit later on and say made her uncomfortable. Not only does he want to avoid drama with Subhuman Resources, he also doesn't want gossip going around about something he did or didn't do, but it's being blown up by a big ass issue. And that'll lead him to an ugly image on the job. So I completely understand him. And if I were you, I'd find a way to talk to him lightly about everything I just said here. I guarantee you he will tell you exactly what I'm saying.
Unquote. Yeah, as you saw here, his words was done the best justice possible. Man on fire, many thanks. This is exactly why. Yeah, this is exactly why he's keeping to him or any man worth his salt is keeping to himself. Hopefully the person at hand takes his advice to heart. And I've heard most of Reddit was actually like this too. Ooh, save for some dumbasses. If I hear of an update about this, I'll definitely note you guys on the net sanity check. Or if it goes extremely well, it ends up going straight to the next 12 days of lunacy. Well, honestly, hope and pray I don't be super late for. I have to take extreme measures in order for that to not happen. So anyway, onward to the next disaster. Or next incident, sorry. We have four more topics remaining, counting this next one. Kind of this next short one. from my work at Remu's, and by Remu's I mean the restaurant. And by Remu's I mean the restaurant here. At the time of working there, there actually was somehow a civil war going on at Popeye's over a chicken sandwich. It was over a new chicken sandwich that they cooked up. And I tried both the regular one and the spicy one. As always, the spicy one is the best one. However, they're not as good. However, they weren't as good as either Chick-fil-A's or Wendy's here. However, I don't have any words for... Oh yeah, Remu's is Wendy's. I don't have a name for Chick-fil-A's yet. Or a name for Popeyes in this case. What is wrong with me? And no, KFP is KFC's replacement. There has to be another name. There has to be another name for Popeye that I want to call Popeyes. And don't worry, this is for fun. But still... Popeyes this time has had another really bad and really bizarre incident. And the same amount of ridiculous as it reminds me of the same amount of ridiculousness as the chicken sandwich wars. So let's hear this out. So Georgia woman drove an SUV into Popeyes over missing biscuits. Oh man. I know they're that good, but they're not that good. Nothing is that good. Let's hear this out. In Augusta, Georgia, woman's been arrested after police said she was purposely crashed her vehicle into Augusta Popeyes over missing biscuits. Oh man. Or just go to the drive-thru and note them that, hey, you're missing Hey, and this is without being too mean or too sappy. Hey, you guys missed my biscuits. But she does this instead. Ugh. Some people, man. Booking information from the Richard County Sheriff's Office shows 50-year-old Blenda H. Miller charged with first-degree criminal damage to property and aggravated assault. Authorities said that just after 7:45 Saturday night, deputies were called to a fast food restaurant on the Walton Way after reports of an accident with injuries, the Augusta Chronicle reported. The manager reportedly told police that Miller became mad when she saw she didn't have any biscuits with her order and drove her SUV into one of the restaurant's entrances. Ugh. According to WJBF, the manager said that they fixed the mistake, but didn't stop Miller from nearly hitting an 18-year-old employee with her SUV. Oh, man. Yeah, that's definitely gonna follow her for a long while. Legal issues are definitely gonna follow her for a long while. The restaurant said that Miller's kept driving to the building until she was stopped by debris. After fleeing the scene, police say they found a vehicle with front-end damage at her home. The 50-year-old woman was given a bond of $4,000, but it's not known if she remains in custody or not. Ugh. Ugh. Given this system full of hacks, hacks in the other domain, I horrifically doubt it. Yeah, I horrifically doubt it. Things are that bad here. The same actually went with a lot of cases in the chicken sandwich war. But enough on that. Alright, onward to the next incident. Which is actually even dumber. And it's even dumber on everyone's part. I'm checking polls so far. No one's so far no one's chosen yet. So far no one has chosen just yet. But anyway. On to our next topic here. So here we have a tale of two complete idiots. One was just an idiot in general. The other didn't hide it. The other didn't hide his find at all, or couldn't hide his find fast enough. So what's the deal here? So yeah. Man got charged after eating stolen chips that dropped by the thief, police say. Wow. Ugh. Man. Stealth stat was way too low. Presence concealment is at rank E-. From Memphis, Tennessee, a man was taken into custody after Memphis police say he ate 2 bags of chips that someone else had stolen from a convenience store. Now, according to reports, on February 9th, he got in an argument with the store. A man got in an argument with a store because she wouldn't sell him beer. That man, my best guess was he either didn't have an ID or he was legit underage. The man then took an entire display of chips and put them into his car. While walking with the display, several bags of chips fell on the ground. Police said nothing but the clerk at fault. No, the clerk at fault the man out of the store. And I bet it's not that same guy. I bet the robber is definitely not the same guy that managed to bribe people with Pokemon cards to get in the drinking bars. Yeah, absolutely fucked up behavior. After the suspect drove off, another man, Joseph Bashwell, picked up 2 of the fallen bags of chips, which were valued at $4.09, police say. When it's rare, officers found crumbs on his face. Oh man, definitely. Oh man, presence concealed was definitely E- rank. Should've washed your face there. Police say they reviewed video footage and conclude that Brashaw was aware of the theft. He ended up being charged with theft of merchandise of less than $1,000. Sent to appeal court on Tuesday. He was set to appeal court that Tuesday morning as of this reading. Yeah, that was entirely dumb. It's not endorsing anything, but you have to be fast on your hands and on your feet in order to get away with receiving dropped items. Oh, if things were like RPGs. But anyway. With that, we move on to the most ridiculous disaster that I've seen. And I almost missed this shit. Literally, I think. What do you mean, literally? Well, hold on to your butts, because yeah. where I found this, the moment I've heard of this, yeah, the moment I've heard of this ended up being extremely funny, while yeah, extremely whacked out. I've always expressed love. This shit ain't one of them at all. So Fukushima man got arrested for defecating on another person's bicycle seat. Wow. Now I see what I mean. Now I exactly see what I mean. From Tokyo, the problem with using bicycles is a common form of transportation, so they're often parked outside and open to the environment, accidents, or even theft. There are risks everyone is aware of and takes into consideration any time a bike is left unattended. Yeah, everyone looks at this. If it's not a Nobunaga chibi stealing your bike, it's definitely someone dumping a massive turd on your bike, or replacing the seat of your bike with broccoli. But let's continue forward. These are risks everyone is aware of and takes into consideration anytime a bike is left unattended. What took place on December 15th last year, however, is quite possibly the last thing anyone expected to have happened to a bicycle. At about 7:30 a.m. on the day in question, a teenager approached her bicycle, which was parked outside a station in Somasei, Fukushima Prefecture. However, sitting on top of the seat was human fecal matter. Wow. She immediately notified the police and an investigation was launched, of course. Yeah, so someone took a hot steaming yeah. What else do you have to do when someone took a hot steaming dump on your bike? Yeah. Yeah, Jesus, get that crap away from me. I fear bad germs. Yeah. Glad that was reported right away. As a result, a 28-year-old man who lives in neighboring Miyagi Prefecture was arrested on suspicion of vandalism. The suspect was accused of defecating on a bicycle seat sometime between 5 p.m. on December 14th, 7:30 a.m., falling down when the victim left her bike in the parking area. So yeah, this was definitely a surveillance area there then. Although details surrounding the incident are few and far between, the police were specific that the seat had been defecated upon, rather than feces had been placed on smeared another way. So he shit right on the seat. Right on the seat. This is terribly foul. Motive was also initially unknown until about a day later, where the suspect reported me admit that he was attracted to the victim and specifically targeted her bike. What? Alright, what? Oh no, dude. No. Of all reasons of this, you come up with this. My best bet was you ran the lie generator and you ran the random lie generator and you got that. Imagine, yeah, seriously. I bet there's gotta be some random lie generator rolling around. And, I did it because I loved them. That's the worst one possible here. Oh yeah. Yeah, it doesn't specify. Oh yeah. Later articles did specify that the person involved was in high school. However, another thing that he should have taken forward. He could have just aimed for the freshmen at the junior college. He should just aim for there instead and definitely skip the defecating on the bike parts. No way that would fly. Just head straight to junior college there, like Coach Greg Adams would say. Shouts to him. Yes, I stole that from him. However, there was also one other thing that I actually had to note. The article next to this. The article next to this is actually the genders reversed. Is that? No, not genders reversed. The ages reversed scenario. And this was back in 2018. This was back in 2018 of some high school boy in Kobe deciding to show his love for some older woman by spreading poo all over a bicycle. So it didn't crap all on the seat. He spread doo-doo butt all over it. No. Just no, man. Ugh. Talk about time being a wild creature. Ugh. And I thought I've seen enough turtery for a month. Turns out I have not. Turns out that was not enough. If it's a Twitter freak swarming around the place, if not yet already, it's definitely someone either crapping your bike or spreading crap all over your bike. Ugh. This makes me miss the days where where all you had to worry about was some Nobu stealing your bike. And yes, I'm talking about one of the Nobunaga chibis. Those guys are ruthless. But anyway, we're finally here. The last article. The last disaster to recant. And once again, this disaster is actually wholesome. It's actually extremely wholesome. But first, something showed up in chat. Crazy ads, I shouldn't you not because I love you. Ugh, you son of that. So to defend us somehow, no matter what. You know. Yeah, we're dealing with it. Yeah, this isn't even peak lunacy. I have a great feeling we're not even at peak lunacy. About the ongoing Pick and Pippa disaster, that's for next episode, because I am definitely sure that this disaster is not set out its full course. And that disaster is still ongoing. But enough on the complete disaster. But enough on the fecal matter related disasters. This final disaster covering for tonight is actually a very wholesome one. So here goes. So two old farts set up at a park to give out free advice to people. Honestly, very cool. Although I've given out tons of advice already this stream, but let's hear them out. This is from Savannah, Georgia. Two Georgia men are saying they're giving out free advice along with a few laughs. Kevin Schatzberger and Ross Jenkins are self-proclaimed old farts who say they're sharing the advice with those who join the Fossil 3 Park in Savannah. Art Vice is free, so you get what you pay for. So that's what yeah, it's the thought that counts, really. Chicago natives attended on the Forsyth Farmers Market last year and now returning to the park for 3 weekends starting on Saturday. And that's as of writing this. It's okay to make fun of yourself without connecting with people, Jenkins said. Schatzberger and Jenkins are said to bring their typical nonsense, obscure tidbits, to beat advice and more once gained this year. We just want people to come out, have a good time, join us, have a good laugh at our expense, Schatzberger said. All for their own entertainment. I gotta give it to them. Those guys are troopers. The 2-set guest chair will also be available during the upcoming park visits where others can join on the fun. According to Schatzbergers and Jerkins, they plan to be at 4th Visit Park at 9 local time as of writing this. It's probably been passed as of here, but yeah. Yeah, good on you two. Good on you two for this. Dubious free advice that should have been loudly given. This is the best sign I've seen since the stupid people need not apply 1 months back. Yes, as months back. So now, with that, I'm glad. Oh man, I can't believe this. I turned music off here. Yeah, I was doing something else here. I turned music off here. Let's give you it's this. The skies are currently red. Good. Yeah, that's it. That is everything within this sanity check. Yeah, we had a ton of BS, but this ending made up for it. This ending definitely made up for it. Now I know me and Anya signed mods at hand are gonna have some fun slaying. I'm gonna have some fun slaying some creatures. And I'm saying this ahead of time. We're gonna get creatures regardless. Unless I have a J Senpai at 4 situation where he is where no one wants smoke with him. I know I got his name wrong, but yeah. Literally no one wants smoke with that dude. Shout out to him. The only trouble that guy ended up with was when his family found out about his channel. But thankfully, from what I hear of it, all's well that ended well. Then again, most of the family I live with is also per assignment in this asylum. And that's for the other domain. But still. Also, finally, some sage advice. How to defeat your arch enemy. Something with someone else's nemesis. You need to take me for a rest of Yeah, definitely hunt that 47-foot snake from earlier. Or another one. That thing already got offline. Saw its guts and everything. Thankfully, animal guts won't get you nuked anywhere unless they're totally infected or something. Or if it's in video form. So anyway, time to end the poll, and you guys also agree with me and Cadbury eggs. You guys also agree with me in Cadbury eggs. Just leaning forward. Yeah. You guys also agree with me in Cadbury eggs. They're delicious. I like Peeps, but I like those eggs more. Definitely gonna. I hope to try both when I hope to try both when my father's birthday celebration arrives. Yes, I'm still on the low sugar / sugarless diet. The low sugar, of course, because yeah, we're in the other domain. You can't escape it for some reason. Yeah, it's still going in the machine, so I need Lumia goes to rid of the soy vegan army. Oh, extremely great idea. But anyway, that's enough for now. Many thanks for everything. I'm gonna go back to hunting iron leaves. I'm gonna go back to hunting iron leaves before going to bed, but I'm not gonna stream that. But I will note you if I caught it otherwise. Still, many thanks for everything. Or then again, I might as well stream that for a little bit. But still, many thanks for everything. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe in case you want to see more. If you want to support me further, there's a chip jar in the description and the link tree. And please ring getting notification bells if you must, because yeah, the sub bots is alone. Special on YouTube's case are as bad as functional it is subhuman resources giving advice to people. That's as least functional you can get. And also, once again, as of this, I will have a Twitch debut, and it will be Twitch exclusive until a bit later when the bot shows up on this channel. Starting on the Ides of March 15th. Definitely look forward to it. And with that, until next time, be seeing ya. Oh, definitely the perfect secret ending to this. As the great Pikamee Amano once said, fuck this, I'm selling meth. Oh, and mandatory winners don't use drugs.